So here's the situation. There is a lot of things happening in the world, and a lot of us, or all of us, are getting affected by it one way or another. And only you know how you are feeling, you know? And with that being said, before we start, I want to say also that, like, what I'm gonna share is my things. They have worked for me in particular. And I've heard it from other people. I've developed some of these things myself. But it's like everything I'm saying, it's like everything I'm talking about during our webinars. You have to put your own little spice inside of this. You can't copy it. I suggest you copy it, but then after a while you have to mix it up. You have to do your own little cocktail, you know what I mean? So whatever I'm saying from now on until the end of time, this won't be like 5 tips to feel better, 5 tips to, you know, never be depressed again. This is not what this is. But I want to share tangible things for you to take away from this webinar, all right? And if I were you, I would take notes. If I were you, I would take notes. Because these are evergreen principles that have worked for me for years. All right? And I'm gonna share a lot of darkness, unfortunately, in this call, but it is what it is. All right? Just know that I'm here, so which means that the story ends well. For me, it was up and down for a lot of years. It still is up and down, but I control it a lot more now. But I had moments in my life where I really, really considered ending it all. Like I was really considering, it's like, if this is it, if this is the life I have, I'd rather not have it. And I know a lot of us are going through these things also. And I know it because I speak with you on your coaching calls, for the people who are in my inner circle, for the people who are reaching out in DM and over emails. Know that you're not alone in this. You're truly not alone in this. And it's very important also that you feel that you're not alone. And you understand truly in your highest self that you are not alone. And why is that important? Is that because that when we are feeling that depression, when we're feeling the anxiety, when we're feeling that life is just heavy, life just goes heavy on us, it's hard to understand that other people can help us because you feel so stuck in your specific situation, right? It's really like, and when somebody tries to talk to you, it becomes but you don't know what I go through. So it becomes like a defense mechanism, right? But the truth is that even if you're unique, your situation is not unique, even if it's extremely unique, right? So when you get some things, and that's why I say, like, take notes in this webinar, but don't copy everything. Make your own little way inside of it, all right? And for me, it was, so let's just separate what we're talking about here. We're talking about depression, which is when you are constantly feeling depressed. It's a state where you're constantly feeling depressed and feeling low. Then you have anxiety. Anxiety is when you're constantly worried and anxious over something. And then you have anxiety attacks. And then you have panic anxiety attacks, which is when you are feeling that it's an attack, and if you never had it, the only way I can describe it is that you're feeling like you're dying. You're literally feeling that your whole world is just collapsing. Like you're a prisoner in your mind. Like it's a torture from inside out. If you've never experienced it, I'm happy for you. If you have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. And for me, it was a strange thing. Like it came, for me, it was from one day to another. Now when my panic, because I had panic anxiety, all right? But I was always very anxious. Now when I'm older and I can backtrack what I'm, like myself, my higher self, I can backtrack the voices I always had in my head. I was always very conscious of the negativity that I saw and I felt inside of me. But I couldn't control it. Like I was very anxious of what other people thought about me, like when I was dancing, for example. Like me being on stage, doing another person's choreography, like dancing, doing choreography classes and looking in the mirror, like it was always a tough thing for me. And then I grew up with a lot of racism where I'm from, so I had a lot of strange experiences from there. So I was always where I lived, I was always the black kid. But then when I started because I was the only guy who had color. But then when I started meeting people that who had other family from Africa, I was the white kid all of a sudden. So I was never I was very insecure who I was, insecure about my color of my skin, and I could never fit in, right? For me, that's how I felt at least. But I'm very glad I had these things. Like all of these things, they are blessings. All of these curses, they are blessings in disguise. And that's how I choose to see it. So that's how I label it now. And these things that I'm going to share with you is how I got out from it and how I got to the point where I am today. But just know that your happiness is your responsibility. That's like the first thing everybody should write down. Your happiness is your responsibility. Whatever you are going through in life right now, your happiness is your responsibility, because you and only you can truly understand what it means for you to be happy. And you can hear this in different you can pick it up from different ways, right? In different ways. So I was teasing my girlfriend. The other day. If you guys don't know, my girlfriend is a 10, obviously. Like a 12 and a 12.5, you know what I mean? She's a 10 by herself, but when she's next to me, she's a 12.5. And she did braids. She done braids in her hair. Very beautiful. And I told her, I'm like, how long are you going to keep it? And she's like, I don't know, I think I'm going to take it out very soon. I'm like, but why are you going to take it out very soon? You're beautiful in it. She's like, I know I'm beautiful. But I don't like it. I don't really feel it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm constantly giving you compliments and people around you are constantly giving you compliments. She's like, I know, but I don't feel it. So your happiness is your responsibility, and it's in all cases. And then you can have, of course, you can have other people to boost you up and give you a spark of energy, but this is your responsibility. You need to take care of it. Thumbs up if that makes sense, because it's a very, very, very important concept to understand. And then when you're in these dark points, it's so hard for you to see the light. And I get it. And I truly, on a deeper level, want to resonate with you on that. I understand how it is to not see the light, see your light, because you are so far away from your ideal. But there is a way for you to get there. And the more you focus on it, the more you are going to get it. Trust me, I don't think it's like I'm going to sound like a kale-eating hippie right now. But it is what it is. And I love kale, all right? But I don't think it's your words have power. I don't think it's a coincidence that the week after, few days after Havka opened up and said, I'm in this situation, she got a new job. It's your movie ending. The more you focus on your movie ending, the more you're gonna see it. It's the law of attraction. Your movie ending, the more you focus on your movie ending, the more you have it written out for yourself. The more you see it, the more it's gonna present yourself next time. It's gonna manifest and it's gonna enter inside of your life, whether you think it or not. Trust me, your words have powers. But I'm going to jump into what I want to truly talk about, because if not, we're not going to be able to run over everything, all right? You're going to make two different lists. The first one, because a lot of guys and a lot of coaches are so focused on what you should add inside of your life. It's like I was speaking to a young man the other day who was dealing with deep anxiety and depression, and I'm sad that he's not here, but he says, like, I don't feel good. I need to add things. I need to add this. I need to add meditation. I need to add this. I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm like, yeah, there is a lot of things you got to do. But before you think about what you should be adding, you should think about the things you should subtract. There are things you need to subtract in your life before you enter. All right? So here's the things that I took away from my life that made me feel a lot better. And I promise you, if you do it, it's going to help you too. All right? And the first thing is food. It sounds crazy, but fasting, and I'm not talking about 24 hours fast. I've done that too. It makes you feel great. You reset your entire gut system. Your gut health feels better. If you don't know the relationship between your gut health and your mind, is that they're saying that your gut is your second brain. Just that saying, your gut is your second brain. That just explains how important it is to take care of your intestines, all right? And I don't always eat the best, but I know when I was feeling my worst, feeling at my lowest, I had the most terrible diet. I didn't have no money. I ate rice with low quality ground beef. Low quality ground beef and rice, and I share that with we could buy because I was living with my dance crew at the moment, so we could share 500 grams of ground beef, which is nothing. We just divide it in 4, and then that's what you ate. That was your dinner, and maybe your lunch and dinner, and then you had rice. So start to take care of your body, and don't overconsume don't add overconsumption of food, especially greasy food like processed meat, processed food in general. Trust me, it makes more than you think. That's the first thing I want you to subtract if you're feeling down. Sugar, subtract it. Processed food, subtract it. Greasy food, subtract it. Yes, but I love my burger. Yes, but you love yourself more, no? You love yourself more, no? It's like, at what moment is it worth it for you to really start taking it away? If you're feeling depressed and bad about it, do you know what I mean? It's so important. It's so important. Like, I can't stretch the importance of it. That's the first thing. Second thing, hot water, subtract it. I know it sounds crazy, but cold showers was a major game changer for me. Cold showers has been proven for years and years. Before medicine, before antidepressives, cold showers was a remedy to fix or to help out with depression. Why? Many different reasons. Whew, that was not good. I made a tea with ginger and way too much curcumin. Yeah, I pretended I knew what I was doing there. What happens with your body when you shock it with cold water is that you go into shock. So you get so focused on the cold water and your body sends out dopamine. You get a rush of dopamine and serotonin, which is happiness hormones. So try cold showers. I'm doing it every day, and I've been doing it religiously for years. I suggest you do it too. Third thing is toxic people. What I mean with toxic people, I mean about everyone. I mean anyone and everyone in your life who is not bringing positivity to you. You should cut that out as it was weed. Like, this is people that's gonna infect affect your life, even if it's your family members. I'm notorious when it comes to this. My friends calls me the gardener. And it's not because I'm good with gardening, it's because I cut out people and I don't feel shame about it for 2 seconds. If you don't provide my life with positivity, you don't belong in my life. And you should be, each and every single one of us should be extremely, extremely picky and selfish. And it's good selfish with who you spend your time with. There's a difference between good selfish and bad selfish. This is good selfish. This is good selfish. You're gonna feel a ton of time better. And it's like, yeah, but who do I know who's toxic? It's like, yeah, but this is my friend. I've been spending all the time with him. He or she has been with me since he's my day one. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's your day one. Like that day one is like, yeah, I stick to my day ones. It's very, how do you say it? Like romanticized. Your day ones is not necessarily the ones that you should end your life with. You should end your life with the people that provide you happiness. One of my favorite people in the world is a person I spent time with her since the summer. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not the day ones necessarily. Now, if you have a day one, try to encourage them to go on that mission together with you. Try to encourage that people to go on the mission with you. But if they are toxic and they provide negativity, like they whisper negativity inside of your ear from just being scared or to add worries and like, don't. And you don't need to cut everyone. You know what I mean? You can slowly but surely like take distance. Slowly but surely take some distance away from them if they don't provide happiness to you. All right? Negative diet, and I'm not now, and it's like negative environment. I think it's even a better word for it now because we already talked about food. So to not confuse negative environment, and I'm talking about the music you listen to, the clothes you're wearing, the whatever is up on your walls, the books that you're reading, the podcast you're listening to. It's like, if you're in a heartbreak, do you really think that, I don't know, Eminem or any like Neo is gonna make you feel better? Like if your heart is broken? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that when you're feeling low and depressed, I'm not sure if, you know, black death super metal is what you should be listening to. I'm not sure. I just know that it wasn't the move for me. Like, for me, it didn't work. You know what I mean? I tried it. But no, I don't think that's the music. I think you should encourage yourself with positivity. It's like, but yeah, but I don't get affected by it. I don't get get affected what people are saying to me. I don't get affected what people are doing. Like I have haters, but like I don't. You know what I mean? Like people are believing that what gets into your ear doesn't get stuck there. But for me, it's so ridiculous. It's like, so you can feel this, right? Everybody do this. Everybody just do this. Bam. Do this on your hand. Everybody can feel it, right? And if you drink something, you taste it, right? And if somebody lightens incense in your room, you can smell it. So why don't you think that if somebody speaks it to you or you hear it, why don't you think that affects you? Why do you think that sense is the only sense? There's the only sense of all the senses we have that doesn't get like registered. Because if somebody comes with negativity, like you can feel it, like you can literally feel it, like it's tangible. So we can feel emotions also all of a sudden. But just what gets into our ears, that doesn't matter. So your environment, set your environment up for positivity and success, I tell you. Set it up for success. Don't mess around with that one. Next thing is social media. Next thing is social media. I went on a social media detox. I started unfollowing people that didn't provide me happiness. All the news thing, I shut it off. I haven't watched news in Lord knows how many years. I haven't had a television in 10 years. I legit haven't had a screen in my life that is bigger than this laptop I'm looking at right now for the last 10 years, and I will keep it like that. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I just got that screen. But it's not my screen, all right? I'm renting this home. It's not mine. It's not mine. We didn't buy any channels. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's not my TV, so I don't take responsibility for it. But you get my point. Stay away from social media because it creates a false narrative. It's a false narrative to people's life. Like, how many people do you see there? So keep in mind that suicide rate has increased this year with 70%, 70. These are true numbers. This is not numbers I make up. You can Google it yourself. It's up to 70% in some cities. Like, that's not coincidental. That's not coincidental. These are true numbers. But you don't see every seventh person on your social media talking about how terrible the life is, right? Because we don't share that. I was about to lose my shit on my cousin. My cousin never go on social media. She never shares anything on her social media. Then she went on vacation and she's on social media every day. I started teasing her so much. I'm like, what are you showing us? She's like, show me when you're eating your bagel at home. Like, what are you doing? Why do you show me now you're at the beach? You don't live at the beach. You're like, share that also if you want to, you know what I mean? But share your reality. Share your truest reality also. So, and I share crazy shit on my Instagram, you know what I mean? But I also speak about this. I also speak about my depression. I also speak about the negativity that I've experienced in my life. So, make no mistake, I'm in no sense of the matter perfect. News and, just news in general, you know what I mean? Like, just cut that shit out. If it's important, you're gonna hear about it anyway. I truly believe so. I truly believe that, like, you don't need news. I don't believe that's gonna make you happier. I don't believe it's gonna make you more educated. It's my personal opinion. For me, when I cut it out, I started feeling better. After that, this is a tough one, and it takes time to master it. But negative self-talk, you need to cut that out like it's, you know, that's the true virus. Negative self-talk is the true pandemic that we all are experiencing in 2020. Forget COVID. I say that with all the respect to everybody who has been who passed away from that wicked devil thing. But negative self-talk is gonna take away way more people, and has been doing it since day one. It bars the way. Doubt is gonna bar the way. Worry is gonna constipate your mind, because what happens is that when you're having that negative self-talk, it becomes like it's like an interest on interest. So you hear like the present negative moments, right? You hear what you're negatively speaking into your own brain. Like, you're not good enough. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody think you're shit, blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows. And it's that voice, that voice is screaming, and that's the worst thing. That voice is screaming. And then you have another voice in here that is whispering. And that voice doesn't speak as loud because the negative voice is fueled by toxic people, social media, the shitty ass food that you put in your body, the people you're hanging out with. So it's fueled by that. So that voice is screaming. It has a microphone almost. So you have to truly listen carefully to hear your highest self, your inner voice. You truly pay attention to hear that voice. But so negative self-talk, like, how do you you will probably always have it. In one way or another, you will probably always have it, but you can practice that other voice. You can practice that other voice, so when the other voice is speaking, that is the one you're going to hear more. And you're going to understand that that is the one that speaks truth. So what I did is that I had, first of all, you want to create new neural pathways in your brain. So every time you're speaking something negative and you confirm it, because the thoughts run like water. Thoughts run just like water. They flow just like water. So the more negativity you think, the more negative you think, the more you think the same thing, it's gonna like flow. It's gonna flow into one. I'm trying to explain it in a no nerdy way, but I think I need to take the nerdy way on this one. So when you're thinking something and when you're doing something, anything, a thought, a habit, an act, it creates a neural pathway. So it's just one synapse to another. It sends a signal. And the more you send that signal, the stronger it's going to be. So it's like it's building a bridge. So the more you do one thing, the stronger that's going to be. The easier it's going to be. For me, doing this, I've done it so many times, so it's easy. But doing it with my left hand, I haven't done it that many times because the neural pathways, it's a new neural pathway here. It's my left hand, so it's a new skill. And the same thing goes with your thoughts. So when you're thinking negative, it's so normal. Your body, it's so normal for you. So you need to do it. You need to change it and do it for the positive things. So I have an alarm on my watch. I still have it. Every 30 minutes, that shit goes off. And every 30 minutes, I take a deep breath. I say something positive in my brain to myself, and I relax my entire body. Just ease. So I remind myself to stay positive. I remind myself to put myself in that state. All right? Not only that, I also have what I call anchor thoughts. So anchor thoughts is something that if I'm thinking about something and if I repeat something over and over and over and over again, and I want to stop hearing that negativity, every time I'm hearing that negativity, I force myself to think about what I call my anchor thought. And my anchor thought is the one thought that I have decided from before. It's like a subject. So whenever I want to go into negativity, I switch that and I start to think about the anchor thought. So let's say it's, give me a subject. Somebody give me a subject. Somebody give me anything that's positive in their life that they like to think about. So I can take this shirt off because I was pretending I don't live in Malta, bro. So what's a subject that you like to think about when you are feeling low? Give it to me right now. Give it to me right now in the chat. A subject that when you are feeling low, you like to think about that subject and it makes you feel happy. What could that be? That's an anchor thought. My child and cats. My husband. Exactly. These are anchor thoughts. So whenever you are feeling that depressed state and you're feeling that depression, whenever like depression starting to like creep over and you start to feel anxious, you move that straight away and you start to focus on things that makes you happy. You think about cats, you think about your husband, you think about whatever it is, your children, things that makes you happy. They are anchor thoughts that's going to help you to not sail away into the deep ocean alone and lose yourself in your brain. Thumbs up if I'm making sense so far. Thumbs down if I sound like a hippie. Perfect. Another thing that I fixed was my irregular sleep pattern. Irregular sleep pattern is so important. Go to sleep the same time, go to bed the same time. After that is what I talked about before. Your words have power. Your words have true power. So pay attention to what you're talking about. How are you feeling? I feel okay. No, you don't feel okay. You feel good. Right now, you feel good. Like you never hear me say, I don't feel very well. If I say I don't feel very well, or I'm okay, It's some serious shit going on in my life. How are you feeling? I feel fucking great. I feel like a princess, you know what I mean? I feel amazing. Like, these are things that's gonna, it's a difference between saying, I'm gonna do my best to not get sick, or I'm gonna stay healthy. Your words have power, trust me. Trust me. I wrote down, like I'm such a believer in law of attraction that it's ridiculous. I'm living, everything I'm living of today, I manifested, like I worked, manifested and worked for it, make no mistake. But I'm living, I designed this life that I'm living. I've designed the relationships I have. I've asked for them over and over and over and looked for them. And now I have it, so I cherish it so much. Like, I'm so grateful for what I have. But the law of attraction is a real thing, but you need to work for it. Then, of course, worry. Take away as much worry in your life as you possibly can. And then commitment. Commitment. A lot of us have tendencies to commit to things. Can you do this for me? Yeah, sure, why not? Can you do X for me? Yeah, sure, why not? Can you come and pick up my children every day? For whatever, fill in the blanks. Recurring commitments are things that I personally try my absolute best to not stack on my life. Or any type of commitments, unless it's a person I truly care about. Again, good, selfish. I can tell you right now, guys, that I'm gonna run over. I can tell you right now that I'm not gonna make it on time today. If you need to leave, don't worry about it. If you need to leave in 15 minutes, don't worry about it. I appreciate you, and you can watch the recording later, but for sure I'm gonna run over. So these are things that I subtracted from my life. And when I started subtracting them, I started to feel less load on my back, because when you're feeling that depression, that anxiety, it's so many things, you have so much things in your backpack, so it's so hard to walk. Every step gets heavy because you carry so much shit with you. Now, once you subtracted, so always start with subtracting. And then step by step you can start adding. Always start with subtracting. Then step by step you can start adding. And these are the things that I added, and I'm gonna do my best to explain why I add them. And to be honest with you, if you've been hanging around here for some time, you heard me talk about all of these things. You heard me talk about all of these things. And I talk about them over and over again because they are so important. They are the foundation of me, I guess. Like, they are foundation of how I got out from where I was and why I'm so passionate about sharing it, because I feel so much better. So, here we go. Every day, no matter what, I have a to-do list. It's not, I don't even call it a to-do list, because I don't want to feel that I have to do things. So I have an opportunity board or an action plan. This is what I need to conquer today. Now, my action plan is not your action plan. Your action plan should be, and it depends on where you are in your life and in your graph, but the action plan should be so easy to conquer. It should be so easy to conquer. Because it depends on where you are in your depression, right? Or in your moment, so to say. If you are in bed, if you're feeling so bad that you can't get out of bed right now and you're watching this, your win should be to go and take a shower. That's your to-do list. Take a shower. That's your first step. Bam. Win. Your second step, so you do that and you do the best you can for a week and a half. Just take a shower every day. Then when that's default, you go and you take a shower and you make your bed. My to-do list, it still make my bed. Every morning I make my bed. It's not because I think it looks pretty. It's not because, would you know what I mean? Because my mom told me so. My mom didn't teach me to make my bed. It's something I adopted in grown-up age. Because it's a small win. It's a small win, and these small wins count because they create momentum. This is the reason why we're always starting these webinars with wins. Because it sets the state. It's like, okay, wow, if I can do this, then why couldn't I do that? Again, your neural pathways for winning and winning over obstacles, they become stronger. And it's so important to change that. You need to put you in a mind shift where you see yourself as a winner, because winner's gonna win. And when you start to win, you're gonna keep on winning. Because it's the same with your fitness. If you never trained before, I'm not gonna put you on a 45-minute Tabata monster interval. Your goal today is to put on your training clothes. Your goal tomorrow is to put on your training clothes and go down to the store. Instead of ordering an Uber for you to go and buy your chocolate, now I want you to walk down and buy your chocolate. And then I want you to go down and don't buy the chocolate. And then I want you to go down and maybe jog on the way home. So small wins, like it's so important because these small wins create momentum. So don't do, and then like there is so many people online that's gonna tell you like, this is how you do a to-do list. Do, 5 things, no more than 5, because if you do more than 5, you're gonna feel overwhelmed. Maybe shut the fuck up. Put as many things as you want on your list. But then again, remember the principle of progression. Remember the principle of progression. Win little, win small. Like I strive of progression. Last week we had 16 people to this webinar. Now we have 17. Boom, one more. Amazing. The week before that we were 14. For 5 weeks before that we were 30. Well, then I missed the webinar because I moved here, and then like 80% disappeared. So now slowly but surely coming back. Because I don't also believe that it will go in a straight line. When you're feeling down, you need to understand where you are on the graph. You know what I mean? Like you need to broaden your perspectives, which is the next thing. Broaden your perspectives and understand that just like, you know how stocks goes, but they go up and down, but like constantly moving forward. So if you have an axis, you have 2 different axes. You have the one that is down. I don't know if it's the X or Y axis, but the one here, it represents time. This one that goes up here, it represents how you're feeling, 0 to 10. So you're gonna go up, then you're gonna fall down, then you're gonna go up a little, then fall down again, but then you're gonna go up, then you're gonna fall down. But remember that when you are down, you need to understand that, okay, right now, very narrow, you zoom in. This week I've been feeling down. But if you zoom out, you're gonna understand that you broaden your perspective, you broaden the horizon. Then you're gonna understand, on an average, I'm doing better. And right now I'm just in the low point, but psst, don't worry about it. Did that make sense? Because I felt I killed that shit. I felt I rocked that. Next thing, morning routine. Have a morning routine. Simple. May do some movements, drink some water, don't overdo it. But habits. Do some positivity things. Set your day off with small wins. And do something easy. Do something easy. You know? If I'm alone, I do my morning movement. I go up. Now I go out because I live in fucking paradise. I go out, I enjoy the sun. I read a book now also, that I enjoy. And yeah, that's my morning routine. You don't need to overdo it. No need to be like then I meditate, and then I go for a jog, and then I go for a walk, and then I go this, and then I do that. Make it easy, make it easy. So easy that you can't fail on it. You know what I mean? If my girl is with me, I kiss my girl. Because if not, she gets angry. Alright, next thing. Then I have a priority list. That I started doing priority list. And it's something I should do more often, even now. But when I was in my darkest stage, again, there were so much things that I'm like, I have all of these things, all of these projects, all of these people that I want to, or that are present in my life for some matter, but I don't know how to navigate. So I did a priority list that looks very simple. Again, I'm a simple guy, don't overdo it. Down, cross. Here you make a priority list. Here I write high, here I write medium, here I write low, and here I write no. This is my highest priority. My family, the people I live with, my company. Then I know what's high priority in my life. Here it's medium priority. These are things that gym for me is medium priority. My health is top priority, but going to the gym is medium priority. Blah, blah, blue, blue. Low priority. Fashion is a low priority for me. Other people's social media is very low priority for me. Whatever. No priority. Gossip, negativity. So because then when that shit enters into my life, I can just put back to it, okay, here is negativity. Or here it's other people's social media, but that's no priority for me. So take it away. I use the Pareto Principle's 80-20. Do you guys know what that is? 80-20 rule, everybody know it? Shake your head like this if you don't know what it is. Okay, so the Pareto Principle, Wilfred Pareto is a 16th or 15th century mathematician who stated that 80% of what you are doing is going to give you 20% results. Now, the 20% that you are doing is what's going to give you 80% the results. 20% of all of your friends gives you 80% happiness. 20% of all the dances you are doing are the ones that are really good. 20% of the work you are doing is going to generate 80% of your income. So I do my absolute best to only focus on the 80%. When I train, I don't train like the small muscle inside of my shoulder. So my left shoulder is, symmetrically absolute mega perfect. Because I don't do bodybuilding. I do overhead press. Because I know it's going to give me the best results. And that's it. So I focus on the compound exercises. They are the big exercises. My gym sessions are not that long because I focus on the 20%. I love my family to death, but I have people that are negative in my family, so I don't focus on them. All right? Again, this works for me, it's just what I do. Clean food and greens, I feel that's pretty self-explanatory. Again, your gut health. I started taking care of my food and nutrition. I stopped smoking. I started taking care of my diet. Very important. Very, very important. Another thing that you might want to take away also is, I'm gonna go back to the subtraction. Check your caffeine. Caffeine might, if you're feeling anxious a lot, and then it's like, yeah, but motherfucker, you're drinking 8 cups of coffee before lunch. There you go. That might be your answer. That's for some of you. Spend time in nature. I started spending a lot more time in nature during my anxiety. To just stay away from, again, stay without social media, without whatever is going on in your life. Stay away from that and add walks in nature. Now I spend a lot of time in the ocean. I love to be close to the ocean. It just makes me feel in ease, you know. Then we're soon done. Then we have your movie ending board. Know your movie ending. If you're in our movement and you have heard me talk about your movie ending and you haven't mapped it out yet, I'm gonna lose my shit on you soon. Because I keep talking about it over and over and over. Your movie ending needs to be clear. And then you can change it, you know what I mean? Like, I thought I was gonna live in Cape Verde right now. But then shit happens, I just need to navigate, you know what I mean? Like, I thought I was gonna be that guy, but I met this person and then I took another route in life. So it's like, okay, cool, now I need to visualize all of the things that I visualized in my brain. And that person is next to me. Okay, I didn't see that before, but I need to, because if not, it doesn't make sense. Like health, wealth, love, and happiness. What are those 4 key principles? How do they look? And then guard it for your life. Guard it for your life. If you're a person that needs pictures, put pictures in it. I read. I meditate on my movie ending. I visualize my movie ending. I don't necessarily need like photos up in my room. I have it as my screensaver in my phone sometimes, not always, but constant reminder. Guided meditation. I started with guided meditation because if you are so lost in your brain that you are depressed and feeling anxious and you want to, if you had a gun, you would put that in your mouth and pull the trigger. For you to be quiet up in here, it's very hard. It's very, very hard. So start with guided meditation. Start with guided meditation and put your will into it. Start with 5 minutes. I don't know when I meditated for more than 15 minutes. Like, it was a long time ago. But I do it every day. Every day I meditate. If I'm strong, I do twice. Journal. It's something I've been slacking with, and I'm coming back on it. Journaling. I like to write by hand, but I'm dyslexic. So, first of all, it's hard for me to read it afterwards. And shit takes forever. Like, for me to write this, like, it takes me like 30 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, it takes forever for me to write for hand. So I've actually moved to computer, just because I have so much thoughts that I want to get out. So it's just like, I'll write it on computer, go faster. But journal, and be honest with you in your journal. Be honest with yourself in your journal. Very important. Is this making sense, guys? Like, is this of any value? Like, I feel I'm running over my old life, like, or my current life. Like, yeah, it's okay? We Gucci? Perfect. Abuela Luz, what's happening? Your baby's sleeping now? The grandchild is sleeping? Perfect. Then again, what I said earlier, like, understand the ebbs and flows of life. It's like high tide and low tide. Like, don't focus on here. I'm not losing weight right now. I'm not feeling happy right now. But on an average, I'm training much more. I'm meditating much more. I'm eating healthier. I'm happier. But right now I'm not feeling that good. Okay, cool, but then focus on feeling a little bit better, but don't dig yourself and disappear inside of that small narrative, because that's the hole. That's the hole that's gonna trip you into feeling that you're not worth anything. Deep breathing. I do a lot of deep breathing. every 30 minutes and 40 seconds to be exact. That's how often I take at least one breath. I read a research recently saying that one thing that smokers do is that we are so focused on, we breathe so shallow, like we have really like forgot how to breathe deep. So when you're smoking cigarettes, like that's probably the only time during the day when you're taking deep breaths, when you're inhaling toxic. Like imagine that, like, and its breath is like water. It's like breathing is the only thing higher prioritization than water. And we don't even take care of it. There are Wim Hof method. Look into Wim Hof method if you want to better your breathing. Anyone, there are like yoga practices like one nostril, this, and then you connect that finger to this finger, and then you do this. And then there is other practices where you breathe into nose and then out to the mouth. And then there is some other practices where you stand on your head and, you know what I mean, you do a head spin and then you breathe through your eyes. Whatever works for you. Breathe deeper because it's going to connect you. Whatever works for you, do it. For me, just breathing works easy. Don't overdo it for me. The most important thing of everything to add, get a coach and do what the coach say. Do what your coach say. Abuela, don't shake your head when I'm talking to you. I tell you, like I have a coach in every area of life. Like my first coach name was Sandra, or is Sandra. I still talk to her. I had her as coach since I was I don't know when I moved to Norway, 21. Just a beautiful woman in every way possible. She has kids, like was never a dancer, but just came in my life perfect. I had Brandon Carter for the longest time, and I did everything they tell me and more. Everything. My coach follows that person, I'm gonna follow that person. My coach says that this person is the shit, I'm gonna do everything that person say. My coach tells me, and I'm still like this with everyone I meet. My best friend plays guitar. What a pity it would be for me to know nothing about instrument when it's such a beautiful thing. My girlfriend is doing this thing. Why wouldn't I take as much as I can from that? That person is doing this thing and she's present in my life. Why wouldn't I copy as much as I can from positive things? Did that make sense? Like, it's so important, and I do it notoriously. Like, if I'm here, there's a great quote saying, if I'm here, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I promise you, I haven't had an original thought in my entire life. But you see it from other things. It's like, wow, okay, cool. You do yoga. Okay, I don't want to go into yoga necessarily. But I love that movement. And the way you approached that situation and that move, I'm going to take a little bit from there. Okay, you play guitar. I have no interest in becoming the next Jimi Hendrix. I don't want that. But let me just take a few things there. All right? You're great at cooking. And you know a lot about herbs. Let me just take a little bit from that. But then you have the people that you copy and paste what they are doing. Success leaves clues. If you're feeling depressed and there are other people that are not that's been depressed and they did X, Y, and Z, and you find the common denominators and you copy and you do it. All right? How was this call? Yeah? Let me know. Yo, this was a tough call for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you for hanging around. It was a tough call. It was, even if it was just a lot of, tips and tips, it was a tough call for me to create. Let me know what has been the most helpful so far with this call. Was anything helpful? Write out what was helpful with this call. Just so I know, so I can feel good. This call talks for itself. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. It makes me happy to hear. Staying curious and open for the world out there. Coaches and mentors, shorten the trial and error period for sure. 1000%. 1000%. 1000%. I tell you, get a coach and just copy that person. Even if it's not me, it should be me. You know what I mean? Let it be me, because I'm fucking amazing. But if it can be anybody else, I mean, go ahead. As long as you're happy, as long as it makes you feel good, you know what I mean? I can't help you with everything. If you tell me to coach you into cooking, I can't do that because I'm no skilled. I get 0 skills there. Everything was helpful, thank you. Like you said, it's everything I've heard you say, but in one place now. Lol. The key is the subtraction list. Finding small things that makes you happy. And when you find those things, you double down on them. I want to be like you when I grow up. Loose. Yo, you guys are awesome. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for spending time with me. I'm gonna do what we always do. I'm gonna say bye dancers. You all gonna say 4 dancers. Then I see you next week. And then we who gonna work out, we're gonna do an abs workout. I challenge you all to do it. If you don't do it, don't even worry about it. It's gonna come up in dancersbootcamponline.com. If you're not a member, you're missing out. We have a mental discipline program with a completely new curriculum, 4 weeks, and it's gonna be lit. I tell you, it's gonna. If you're interested in, if this was good for you, and if you're interested in taking your mind to the next level, the mental discipline program, again, completely new curriculum. You're gonna have weekly webinars. They're gonna be on Sundays now, so everybody can join. If you're from the States, they're gonna be later, so the people from the States or in different time zone can join. You have weekly challenges, you have a community of people, you have a closed Facebook group, you have me bothering you every week. And if that's something that's interesting to you, you can go on Get Disciplined Today, getdisciplinedtoday.com, and that's it, that's all I got. It officially starts the 15th of November. If you are in my Inner Circle program, let me know before you buy it. Hint, hint. And here we go. I'm gonna say bye dancers, you're gonna say 4 dancers, and that's all we got. Same time, next place, same people. Hopefully 1 person more. And if not, don't even worry about it. We're good, you're all unmuted. I'm gonna say bye dancers, you're gonna say 4 dancers, and before I record, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, fucking thank you for joining me on these webinars. It makes my life a lot better. Thank you for spending time. Thank you for letting me talk. Thank you for listening. Apply what I've been teaching. Apply what I've been teaching. Knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. Don't forget that, all right? Here we go. All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming. It's another week, another webinar. Remember, as always, bye dancers.
Dancers.
Oh, I don't know who was screaming, but that's awesome. Let's go. All right, familia, you're fucking awesome. Let's see who's tough enough and stay on this 15.5-minute abdominals workout that I'm gonna do right now. And I don't blame you if you don't, but you know what I mean?